Rain pounded the windshield as Natalie Elders dropped her daughter off at school on April 10, 2003. Her husband, Dwayne, left earlier to open the family convenience store for the day. Then his phone rang. Natalie had been T-boned by a pickup truck.
The car had been hit bad and knocked back against the guardrail. I was looking for Natalie, of course, and Natalie they'd already got her out of the car. She was in the ambulance, and the paramedics were working with her at the time. She was lifeless.
The local hospital couldn't handle Natalie's multiple trauma injuries, so the family followed the ambulance to nearby Asheville, North Carolina. At first, the doctor was hopeful.
He said she's in a coma, but he thought she would wake up within 24 hours. She didn't wake up at 24 hours. She didn't wake up at 36 hours.
An MRI showed Natalie's brainstem was almost completely severed. If she ever woke up, she would be a lifetime quadriplegic.
My faith in God was the only thing I had. On the day of Pentecost, God sent us the Comforter. And that's pretty much what I had.
For 10 days, family and friends waited and prayed. On Good Friday, doctors sat Dwayne down.
He told us that without divine intervention, there was no chance, that Natalie was not going to probably ever wake up. And he said, I want to meet back with you on Monday. And he said, at that point, he said, I want you to think about taking her off of life support. I guess in my mind, I thought it was pretty well over. We was going to have to make a decision Monday. And at that point, I said, God, boy, it sure would be nice to have a miracle performed. I know you can do it. It's Easter, and wouldn't this be a great time?
Word spread of Natalie's condition. Churches in 8 states were praying for a miracle that Easter morning when Natalie's sister called Dwayne from the hospital room.
And she said, would you like to have some good news? And she said Natalie had woke up. And immediately we were just ecstatic with joy. And so we sang Amazing Grace around her bedside, and tears running down Natalie's cheek. But that was the pretty much all the response we had, but it gave us hope.
Despite the doctor's grim prognosis, Natalie quickly improved. 10 days later, she was transported to a rehabilitation facility under the care of Dr. Edgardo Diaz.
When Natalie came, she was in a very bad situation. She was confused. She was not oriented. She was not eating by herself. She had a feeding tube. Essentially, she was what we call total care. We had to do everything for her.
Natalie began the slow process of rehabilitation. It was May, and the doctors expected her to spend Christmas in the rehab hospital. To everyone's surprise, she walked out 6 weeks later.
All this trauma and the way she came and the way she left, I was very pleased too that she made that good recovery in what I consider a short period of time.
God is an intensely powerful God. What was going to take me many months or even over a year to do, God did through me in just a matter of weeks. He can heal the blind. He can raise the dead. He can do whatever it is that He wants or needs to do or in His will. The miracles that He worked in my life, it didn't stop when He woke me up. First they said I would never wake up, and I did. Then they said I would be a lifetime quadriplegic. They needed to just put me in a nursing home. They said it would take 12 to 18 months for me to be anywhere near ready to go home, and in 6 weeks I walked out. So God was in control the whole time.
Dwayne says since 2003, they've celebrated Easter for 2 reasons.
It's when our Lord rose on that third day, but it's also the day Natalie rose from the dead too, I believe. A miracle was performed that day, and I just have to give God the glory.